All right, hey everyone. In this video, we are going to do, this is what I'm calling one of our property highlight videos, giving a real life example of one of our properties that we manage, the numbers, the breakdown of how much it earns, what type of tenants, mid-to-rental tenants, have been booking this property. So this is not theoretical, it's our actual bookings over the past year or two, and some other details about it. So I'm planning to do one of these for pretty much all of our properties to give you an idea of the range from small studio apartments up to large homes, and everything between, so you get an idea of, at least in the Los Angeles market, how mid-to-rental properties do. So jumping to this one, this is one of my favorite properties that we manage. It's a beautiful space. It's a property that I would be myself very happy to stay at. It's in Santa Monica. This is the listing page from our website. This is the listing page from Airbnb, to give you an idea of the kind of the physical property first. So a quick breakdown. This is a single family home in Santa Monica. Here's a map, just kind of quickly give you an idea of where it's at. It's a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom house, so it's not huge. It has a lot of outdoor space, so that's a huge highlight for this property. A lot of our past bookings have been individuals or families with dogs, so it's a very pet-friendly property. A fully enclosed yard. This photo gives you a little idea. This is kind of facing the property if you were just entering in from the street. So on the left side is the building, the right side has a lot of outdoor space. Another cool highlight is the house itself is 2 bed, 2 bath, but there's this little, we call it a cabana. Maybe that's kind of a glorified term, but it's a bonus room that we have a little gym in there, and there's a desk, so you could work in there. If you need, if our tenants need privacy to do some work away from the rest of the family in the house, there's that. There's a nice outdoor area with a fire pit right here. It's kind of hard to see, and there's a grill. So really highlighting the outdoor space element of this property. You can see there's a little, we have a little picture here of the mini gym in that cabana. Let me see if I can find a better picture of that cabana here. Here's like a zoomed in shot. So outdoor furniture, we wanted to make that a standout, and I believe this is kind of an indoor picture of just a simple desk with a light in there, and this little gym all inside there. So those are the kind of physical attributes of the property. The back of the cabana has this nice lounging deck area, and we just had the deck refinished, so it's looking new. So again, yeah, those are the physical kind of stats of the property and what makes it stand out. Actually, one more thing I just remembered by looking at the photos. We wanted to target the work from home digital nomad crowd. So in one of the bedrooms, the non-master bedroom, the second bedroom, we have a very nice work from home setup. This is the only property we have such a nice setup, and we thought about doing it in other properties as well. See if I can get a better picture of it. But essentially, we have a standing desk, a powered standing desk. We have an external monitor on a monitor arm, so you can adjust it. Wireless mouse. There's a printer, a desk light. Really nice. This is a steel case ergonomic chair. I actually bought one for myself recently, but in my estimation, it's the best ergonomic desk chair you could buy. So it's essentially our tenants just have to bring a laptop, plug it in, and they're ready to work in a very comfortable way. So this is definitely something we want to use to target our crowd, and I believe it has worked well. We'll go into the tenants that we've had in a bit. So next part of this property highlight I want to go over is the numbers. The first number I want to use as a baseline, because we are not the owners of the property, we are property managers. We often benchmark for our property managers what they could earn as a mid-to-rental compared to a long-term rental, because that's the typical alternative option, right? If they already have the property. So I just looked up the property on Zillow to get idea of what the long-term rent is. So Zillow is saying as a long-term rental, this could earn about $5,000. So let's keep that as our estimate, $5,000. I looked at our last about year and a half of bookings, and our bookings we've received for this property as a midterm rental have been between 7,500 and all the way up to 10,500. So quite a bit of a range there. We won't go into that too much, but that's the actual bookings we received. If we average that right out in the middle, we'll say 9,000 is what we get for this property. So again, 9,000 as a midterm rental compared to 5,000. Of course, as a midterm rental, you have higher vacancy than a long-term rental, right? A long-term rental, assuming you have a good tenant who stays for many years, you could almost assume 0% or very close to 0% vacancy. So over the last 17 months, to be exact, we've had about what is that? About 3 months vacant. So 3 months out of 17 months vacant. That's about 82% occupied. So if we do some numbers, just open a calculator here. We said 9,000 on average midterm rental rate, right, on an annual basis times 12, and then I'm going to multiply that by 82% for the 82% occupancy. The midterm rental is gross, getting a gross rental income of about 88,500. We charge a 15% management fee. So let's just break this down more for what the owner is making taking home. So I'm going to do 85% of that to take out our management fee. The owner is bringing in about 75,000 a year. So keep that number in your head. 75,000 is what the owner is making. And if we go back and get our long-term rental rate of 5,000, right, and assuming full occupancy, 5,000 times 12. So as a long-term rental, the owner would have been making 60,000, and they would be self-managing, right? So if the owner wanted to hire long-term property manager, so the comparison is kind of equal, midterm rental property manager compared to a long-term property manager. Long-term property management rates 10%, I think, is a good estimate. So we're going to take off 10%. So the amount they will make with a long-term rental and a property manager is about 54,000 a year. And back over here, this number here, 75,000 is what they're making with their property as a midterm rental with a property manager. So equal amount of work, equally passive for the owner. They're making 20,000 more a year on this property. So I like this property because of the physical attributes, characteristics of it. It looks great and it performs wonderfully. Our owner obviously is very happy with this one. So that is, let's just do some numbers here. 20,000 divided by, they're making 36% more than they would as a long-term rental. So great numbers. So that's a quick breakdown of the numbers. Next, I want to talk about a little bit of the tenant types to give you an idea of who is paying so much to stay at this home. I was surprised by it when we first started managing this property. We've been managing this one for about, let's see, what is that? Almost 4 years now, right? Yeah, early 2021. So almost 4 years. That's amazing. So I've been surprised since the beginning, and I'm still surprised over the past year how much people are willing to pay to stay here. Again, that 10,000 number was our highest booking value we've received, 10,000 a month for this property. And what am I trying to say? I would not be surprised to get more bookings at that rate. But to give you a quick breakdown of our most recent bookings for this property, we've had a couple stay here for 3 months. They were relocating to Los Angeles from outside the country. So this is a common midterm rental tenant type. When you're moving here for the first time, they are house shopping, and as you know, buying a home is not immediate. It takes time. So they've already, you want to move to the area first. You want to go visit homes, and you need somewhere to stay during that process. So this couple stayed here for 3 months while they were house shopping. Previous guest before that was a single guy. He kind of the digital nomad type of tenant. He stayed for 6 months, so that's definitely on the long end for midterm rental tenant. But it was just a single guy with his dog, so he was willing to pay something around 9,000 a month for this house. I assume he has a well-paying job and he liked the house a lot, and he has a dog, so he needed a place that worked for a dog that's pet friendly. So that was 6 months, one guy and his dog. Another similar tenant, a single guy who stayed here for about 3 months. He came for a work project, I believe, but he also his family lived nearby, so occasionally his family will come stay with him for part of the time. So he did want the bigger space for his family to visit him while he was in LA working for 3 months. And one more tenant type, again, like the first one, it was a couple who had a dog relocating to LA and they stayed with us for 2 months. Same thing, they were house hunting and wanted somewhere to stay while they looked for a more permanent home. So those are some of the examples. Digital nomad, high income earners who are moving to LA, relocating to LA, are the tenant types this property has had bookings from most recently. The last thing I want to mention for our property highlights, because we are Mitchell Rental property managers, how did we source this property? Or how do we find this client? Right, the property owner is our client, and there's different ways we find our clients. So this was one of our first Mitchell Rentals 4 years ago. This was someone in my personal network, and essentially their long-term rental tenant was moving out, and they posted the property, an ad for the property, trying to get the next long-term rental tenant ready to move in. They posted it, I believe it was on Facebook, somewhere where I would see it, right? So I saw a friend from college posting this, hey, they have rental property in LA. I was looking for properties to manage, so I thought, let me reach out to him and share what I do, this whole midterm rental furnished new model, what it's all about, how much more they could earn, all of that. And they said yes, and we've had a great relationship since then, and I'm sure they're happy with having the management hands off and the additional money that they're earning on it. That's it for property highlights. I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of these. I hope this gets your brain juices flowing, thinking about how a midterm rental could do, how much you could earn for this type of property. This is definitely a nicer property. It's in a nice part of Santa Monica. It's more newly renovated and all that. So that is part of the reason why it makes what it makes. But it's all about marketing as well. As you could tell, we have nice professional photos that really highlights what this property has to offer. The kitchen's nice. There's nice counters. The bathroom's nice. Right? We have all these amenities. We want to highlight the fire pit, the grill, and that's how you get better value bookings. Stay tuned for more. If you want to get notified or get reminded of these videos I'm going to be posting, please like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. If you can't tell, I'm new to YouTube and trying to get this launched, but I'm very much not new to midterm rentals. So really looking for a way to showcase what I've been up to these past 7 years through the magic of social media. Thank you.